Welcoming you guys to your NFL Week 17 recap of 2021. We're one week away from the regular season finishing, and we get the business part of the season where the playoffs and the Super Bowl happens and stuff like that. So we had a couple of big this week. We had a couple of big things that was happening this week that I'm going to talk about. But we start off with the Eagles versus Washington football team. It was 20-16. Going into the game, the Eagles were 8-7 and 6-9 to Washington. Touchdown by Boston Scott in the second to make it 7-10. Slide field goal in the second to make it 7-13. Then a slide goal in the second to make it 7-16. Then a 14-16 going to the second half. Then Elliott field goal in the fourth to make it 28-16 to the Eagles. Another great win for the Eagles that gives them 9-7, and they make the playoffs, and it's great for the Eagles. Then we have the Jags versus the Patriots. The Patriots destroyed the Jags 10-50. Harrison had his 14th rushing touchdown of the game. He had Stevenson had a touchdown in the game. It was just a great performance by the Patriots, and 10-50 was the score. We had the Bears versus the Giants, a meaningless game that didn't mean anything really. Both teams are not contending for anything or going for a divisional championship. It was just a whatever game. 3-29 Bears football, and then typical Bears football, typical Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace-Phillips version of Bears football is let's start the quarterback in Andy Dalton. That's not going to be here a long term, but bench our quarterback in Justin Fields. Does that make any sense? Like I know that the Bears, going into the season, you wasn't going to expect to win anything, especially with that front office you have in Chicago. But you need to showcase your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, which is Justin Fields. You wanted to become that dude, and if he's getting benched by Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton is not your long-term fix, neither is Nick Foles. So why are you resting Justin Fields? I don't know if he was injured or whatever, but start him as your quarterback. I know some Bears fans are like, if Andy Dalton started a few games, we would have won. Because there was just few games that didn't mean shit. It's about the development of Justin Fields and how he adapts to the college game. Now, I'm going to do a skeleton video later on in the week talking about a wide receiver for the Bears that I've scouted. And they need to really look at wide receiver this offseason. But anyway, 3-29 for the Bears, and they got a win. Then you had the Rams versus the Ravens, 20-19. Clark interception, touchdown in the first to make it 0-7. Field goal by the Ravens to make it 0-10. Then 7-13 in the second. Tucker field goal to make it 7-16. Mitchell touchdown in the fourth to make it 14-16. Tucker field goal in the fourth to make it 14-19, and then touchdown by Odell Beckham Jr. to make it 20-19. We had the Raiders versus the Colts, 23-20. Good win for the Raiders. Touchdown by Jacobs in the first, to make it 7-0 in the first to the Raiders. 46-yard field goal in the second by the Colts to make it 10-3. Then Carlson field goal in the second to make it 13-3. Touchdown by the Colts to make it 3-10 by Hilton touchdown to make it 13-17. Renfron touchdown in the fourth to make it 20-17 in the fourth, and the field goal by the Colts to make it 20-20. And then Carlson field goal to make it 23-20 to the Raiders. We had the Dolphins versus the Titans, 3-34. The Titans they win the AFC South for the back-to-back. The Titans win the AFC South for the first time back-to-back seasons. So that's good for them. That back-to-back they win the AFC South. Swin touchdown in the first for the Titans, 7-0, and then a 23-yard field goal by Bullock in the second to make it 0-10 in the second. 39-yard field goal by the Dolphins to make it 3-10. Jones touchdown to make it 3-17. Touchdown by Frisker in the fourth to make it 3-24. 44-yard field goal in the fourth to make it 3-27, and then Hilliard touchdown in the fourth to make it 3-34 to the Titans. Then we had the most memorable of the games this week, and not kind of for the football side of things, but Antonio Brown's meme. When you've seen it, you guys have seen it, or have seen it on Twitter. He rips his shirt off and like, he rips his shirt off, and there's all sorts of memes going out on Twitter and social media of him being a Jets cheerleader and shit like that. But yeah, in the third quarter, Antonio Brown rips his shirt off and runs back to the dressing room. I heard that there were reports on Twitter that he was injured, that he's quit the Buccaneers, but I don't know what's going on with that. I think this is probably the end for him anyway, but yeah, that was the memorable thing about the game. But the game was 28-24. The Jets had a good fight in this game. They put up a good fight against the Buccaneers. They had a Braxton Berrios touchdown in the first wicket, 0-7 in the first. Mike Evans got the Buccaneers back in the game with 7-7, and then Braxton Berrios touchdown in the second to make it 7-14. Suck up field goal in the second to make it 10-14. Field goal by the Jets to make it 10-17 in the third, and then Ty Johnson touchdown in the third to make it 10-24. Brake touchdown in the third to make it 17-24, and Antonio Brown had his little meltdown. Suck up touchdown field goal in the fourth to make it 20-24, and then Grayson touchdown in the fourth to make it 26-24, and a 2-point conversion to make it 28-24 to the Buccaneers. Then we had the Falcons versus the Bills, 15-29. Bills still in playoff contention, and they had a great win here, 2-0 in the first to the Falcons. Then Josh Allen gets a touchdown in the first to get the Bills back in the game. Touchdown by Allen to make it 2-14. 28-yard field goal to make it 5-14. In the second, then a Mike Davis touchdown in the second to make it 12-14. 24-yard field goal in the second to make it 15-14. Singletary touchdown in the third, forced a 2-point conversion to make it 15-22. Singletary second touchdown of the game, so Singletary had a good game with 2 touchdowns in this game to make it 15-29 to the Bills. Then we had the Chiefs versus the Bengals. I think this was probably one of the best games of the weekend. 31-34, the Bengals win the AFC North for the first time in 7 years. I know that the Bengals had kind of a slow start to the season. You know, they was struggling against the Bears and other teams, but they got their shit together, and they're now 10-6. They beat one of the former Super Bowl champions in the Chiefs, and they win the AFC North, which is great for them. Touchdown by Demarcus Robinson in the first week at 7-0 to the Chiefs. Touchdown by Kellis in the first week at 13-0. Then Jamar Chase receiving touchdown to make it 14-6 in the second. Williams touchdown to make it 21-7. Jamar Chase with his second touchdown in the game with 2-point conversion to make it 21-14. Williams touchdown and 2-point conversion to make it 28-14 in the second. Field goal in the fourth to make it 28-31. Jamar Chase's third touchdown of the game to make it 28-24. 34-yard field goal to make it 31-31 going to fourth, and then a field goal from the Bengals to make it 31-34, and good day for the Bengals. Then we had the Broncos versus the Chargers, 13-34. Touchdown in the first to 0-7 in the first. Field goal to make it 0-10 in the second. Keenan Allen touchdown to make it 0-17. Then a field goal to make it 3-17 in the second. 23-yard field goal in the third to make it 3-26. McManus touched a field goal in the fourth to make it 6-20. Andre Roberts touchdown in the fourth to make it 6-27, and then Broncos touchdown to make it 13-34 for the Chargers. Then the Texans 49ers 7-23 to the 49ers. With a 37-yard field goal in the third, 7-3. Mitchell touchdown in the third, 7-10. Samuel touchdown in the fourth, 7-17. 27-yard field goal to make it 7-20 in the fourth, and the field goal to make it 7-23 to the 49ers. Then we had the Panthers versus the Saints, 10-18, and the Panthers this offseason need a quarterback. Like, I know they have Cam Newton and shit like that, but they need a quarterback because Sam Darnold sucks. Like, that was I don't know why they wanted Sam Darnold in Carolina, because he sucks. He is not a star quarterback. They need an upgrade. They need to upgrade on Sam Darnold in this offseason if they want to be contentions for potential Super Bowls and stuff like that. And the Panthers need a star quarterback. And and just a cheap plug as well for another video. I'm gonna scout another quarterback this week. So maybe he could be in contention for going to Carolina, but they need a quarterback. 10-18 to the Saints. Saints gonna win. Cardinals versus the Cowboys. The last few weeks, the Cardinals have been on a bad losing streak, losing to the Lions, and I don't know who they lost to last week. But yeah, they've had a bad couple of weeks, making them 10-5 going into this game, and 11-4 for the Cowboys. Prater field goal in the first, make it 3-0 in the first. Fourth and goal by Wesley in the second to make it 10-0, and then touchdown by in the second to make it 10-7. Prater field goal in the third to make it 13-7. Wesley's second touchdown of the game to make it 19-7. 26-yard field goal by Prater in the third to make it 27-7. 25-20 plus a 2-point conversion to Dallas in the. Then we had a 38-yard field goal to make it 25-14. A touchdown by Cedric Wilson to make it 22-14. And then 22 for the win. Then we have the Lions versus the Seahawks. Seahawks are back to winning ways after they lost to the Bears. They had a Rashid Penny touchdown 0-7 in the first. Then Rashid Penny got Rashid Penny got 2 touchdowns in this game to make it 0-17. 7-7 in the second, and a touchdown by Metcalf, who had a great game as well, to make it 7-24. He had another touchdown in the third quarter and 7-38. And then his final touchdown of the game, which was 22-45, and then the game ended 22-51 to the Seahawks. Then we had the Vikings versus Green Bay, 20-37. Crosby field goal to make it 0-3 in the first. Crosby to make it 0-6. Then Lazard touchdown in the second to make it 0-13 in the second. 0-20 in the second by Jacob, field goal in the to make it 3-20. Then a 3-20 in the third. Touchdown by A.J. Dillon in the third to make it 3-27. K.J. Osborne, touchdown in the third to make it 9-30. Touchdown by Green Bay to make it 10-37 for the win. Then we have last night's game, the Monday game, Big Ben's final game in Heinz Stadium. His final game, his second to last game before next week. And it was 14-26 to the Steelers. Now the Browns are now 9-7. Steelers are 8-7-1. 8-7-1. Deontay Johnson touchdown in the second to 20-7 in the second to the Steelers. 22-yard field goal in the second to 10 to the Steelers, and a 30-yard field goal in the third. And then a touchdown in the third to make it 7-13 for the Browns, and then a 50-yard field goal to make it 7-16, and a 48-yard field goal in the fourth to make it 14-19, and then a touchdown by Harris to make touchdown by Brian in the fourth to make it 14-19, and that was week 17 of the NFL.